Hello, everyone. Welcome to Teamwork Design, where we strive to design life from conversation to communication. I am your host, Terry Mera.
Talked about failures along the way after purchasing the books, studying the frames. So, what is the most memorable moment? I mean, for me, this is already like, what? But what is most memorable moment during your profession?
Well,
Well,
mind
mind
you,
you,
by that point in time, I had gotten a jobs working at nightclubs. And so I had the benefit of having that cash in my pocket. I would leave the nightclub at 5 a.m. I would go directly to the flea market. And by this point in time, I had been, doing my little thing, buying and selling. I had my daytime gig working for an antique dealer. I had the nighttime gigs of working at the nightclubs. And then I had my weekend gig of, the flea market. And so I had these three separate avenues. They're all producing income. But every time I'd go to the flea market, I would spend all that money because I was so hungry to learn. And I figured the only way I could really learn would be to really put my money where my mouth was and try and just do it. So this is a great story. A lot of my friends will always want to say like, "Oh, what was your best success?" and what did you make the biggest score on? And I love to say I showed up at the flea market one day and I was feeling extra cocky. I just I had had a good week apparently, and a vendor there had a picture frame. And because I had been looking at these books, I thought I was so smart and ready. And I said, "Oh, that's a Louis Trez, Louis the 13th frame. I know what that is." Now, mind you, I have never had my hand on a real Louis the 13th frame. Okay. So they said, "Yeah, listen, it's $750." So they had thrown down that gauntlet. Girl, I was in this moment where I didn't even negotiate. I just wanted to whip that cash out, peel it off, and be like, "Oh, I got that. Sure." I have no idea what I'm doing. So I get the frame. I go and see my client later that afternoon, and I placed it on his desk and I sat back waiting for the accolades, waiting for him to tell me just how smart I was to purchase that frame. And he looks at me and he's like, "Girl, what am I going to do with this?" And I was just like, "Oh, put it on a Picasso or something." And he's like, "I don't deal in reproduction frames." He's like, "It's a good $50 frame if you ask me."
that is $750 lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even myself that I do have my share of experience where you think you got it. Somehow the universe reminds you, you ain't got it. I think that's where, one thing is to confident, another thing is to be a cocky, and
Yeah.
I think as a human being, you do experience like, oh, I got this. Whether it could be facade that you projected on yourself to do better, like fake it till make it, or you really believe that you got it based on whatever short experience that you have, right? Then somehow the mother nature knows how to put you in a place where you belong. I mean, that is one thing, and even my experience, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that was ouch, but it was a great lesson for sure.
It's
It's
the kind of lesson that stays with you and that reminds you to have that slice of humble pie. However, just let me tell you one thing. it wasn't the lesson that ever stopped me from taking a chance. It was simply the lesson that showed me the difference between cockiness and confidence, as you so beautifully noted. And that's what it is. Like, I think there's nothing better than being confident. There's nothing more exciting and attractive and fun than being confident, because that confidence, it comes out and it attracts things to you, people to you. The universe says, oh yeah, she's feeling good. But when you're cocky, that's when the universe says, oh hey, here, watch this. Let me show you something. So look, in no point was that story to tell you, your listeners, me, anyone, to say don't go for it. By all means, do go for it. Take that chance. Just take that chance and know that there might be a big slice of humble pie waiting for you at the end, but eat it, finish it, clean the plate, and move on, because there's more waiting for you. There's more humble pie. There's more experiences. There's more life waiting for you. There's more excitement. And you take these moments and you go with them and you grow with them. And that's what I love. Like, I love what you and I both do. We're out there, we're hustling, we're trying things, and we understand that there's a risk involved. There is a definite chance that we will fail and fall on our face, whether literally like you did on the reservoir, figuratively like I did. You know what I'm saying? But man, like, what's better? What's better than to then share that story? Because when you when you posted that picture, I was like, that's my girl right there. She's out there putting in those 8, 9, 10 miles after just falling on all those rocks. And I was like, yes, that's it. Because it's a metaphor for what we all need to do. Like, yeah, you're going to fall down, but man, get up and do it, and you're going to be all right.